What's going on, guys? Boy, Joe Take 72. I have my boy, iamCarlo, first on the show. Haven't talked to you in a while. It's been a while since we talked. Since we've been on Bitterbirds, and before that, we've been hitting each other up here and there about the season. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. How you been? You been good?
Been worked, yeah. Just chilling, working. Same old, and gonna talk about some Eagles.
Let's fucking go.
So, Eagles lose to the Dolphins 31-37, embarrassing loss. Go ahead. You could start off with let it all out. What about this game and what do you think of it and just everything?
Where is it to start? You know what I mean? Who can you blame? You can blame everyone from the top to the goddamn bottom. You can start from general managers to coaches. The general managers not putting people in the right position, not getting the goods. You know what I'm saying? Not getting the right people in the building in terms of players, wide receivers, running backs, whatever it might be. Not quarterback, though. Carson Wentz is still the guy. We all know that. Now, listen. Doug has been doing a decent job throughout the weeks. That's why I can't crucify him. Like, people out here, they're killing him. They're killing him. And listen. The way I look at it is the guy just won us a Super Bowl 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So he has a long leash. He gets a little bit of a pass. But when you go out against the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not talking about the Miami Dolphins of the 80s, the 85, Dan Marino and all them boys. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins of 2019. These guys are trying to lose games to get a better draft pick, to get these quarterbacks, get Joe Burrow and all these guys. They're not even trying to win. And for them to put up 37 points against us, right? Now check this out. 2 weeks before that, we've coming off the bye week. We versus the Patriots, right? We lose. What was that? 17-10. Okay.
Right.
Seattle. We lose, 17-12, I think it was, around there. So combined within those 2 weeks, we only gave up 34 points. In 2 weeks against two elite quarterbacks. Supposedly one you call the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson, who in my opinion is going to be league MVP or is running up for league MVP. You give up 34 points combined. But in one game against the Miami Dolphins and Ryan Fitzpatrick, you give up 37 points, dude. 37. There was one point in the game where the Miami Dolphins scored 5 touchdowns on 5 possessions. In the second half, Ryan Fitzpatrick threw his first incompletion. I think it was around late fourth quarter. And I'm like, wait, what? First incompletion? It was bad. And, the offense did what they could do. The weeks prior, our defense did everything. And the offense did nothing. And now this game, the offense does what they had to do. And the defense could do absolutely nothing. And it looks like it starts with Devontae Parker. Dude, he killed us. He killed us. At one point, he had 6 catches for 151 yards. That was his total stat line. 6 catches, 151 yards, I think, and a touchdown. And a lot of people say, well, some of those balls he caught, they were like 50-50 catches and that, yada, yada. I'm like, listen, dude. And I'm like, what are you still doing? He looked like Randy Moss in his prime out there or something. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people were saying, the defense, they should have started double teaming them, even though it was 50-50 balls. I get it. Or, double team, put another safety, put one of the safeties out there, Jenkins or someone, to help our corners against him. But as the game went on, if you actually watch the game, you can notice and see that I think that's what they started to do. And that's why Mike Gesicki, if you remember, started going off. Because they were taking away that side of the field Devontae Parker was on. And Mike Gesicki started going off for the Miami Dolphins. But overall for our offense in that game, I couldn't believe it. At one point, we're up 21-14. And I think the overall, throughout the game, our rushing total was 92 yards around there. Once we're up 21-14, we didn't run the ball. We did run the ball, but 3 times. That's it. The rest of the game. 3 times the rest of the game. Think about that. It makes me sick. And me, I'm nobody. I'm a couch quarterback, and I can see what you need to do. You got the lead, run the ball. Now listen, Doug Peterson probably thought, listen, this is a trash team right here. You know what we can do? We can just start racking up points on them. Bam, 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 and just blow them out. Listen, Doug, like I said in my video on my channel, go check it out, guys. Listen, but what I said was that this is still an NFL professional football team. Okay? You still got to run the ball, have your time possession, drain the clock. I don't give a damn if it's Miami Dolphins. I don't give a damn who it might be. Still, you have to respect them as an NFL team and not think, oh, let's just keep passing all over these guys. Let's just try to score. But there's so many things in this game you can take away from it. I mean, I'll let you go, man, because I'm getting really hot thinking about it. I keep going on and on with the bullshit, but
Yeah, no, like you said, like the defense, like the past few weeks has done, has pretty much been holding, carrying this offense. But what I've noticed from Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills, that they can't track the football. Like they'll be in good position, but they literally just couldn't. And honestly, they had their undersized corners. They were taken over in this game. And I can put it on Carson, but at this point, he had a couple touchdowns and over 300 yards, and he played a good game for himself, but the receivers are still an issue. Like we got, I think first play, Dolphins get the ball. We get, Ronald Darby gets that pick. Awesome. I'm like, holy shit, can't believe that even happened. And feel like it's, we're going to take this game over, get a touchdown. Next drive for the Dolphins, they, 3 and out, they punt the ball on their own side. They barely even punt it 25, 30 yards. They punt it on their side. We have another opportunity. And for some reason, we just cannot just easily score. We cannot easily score. And like I said, like you don't open this passing game, you've seen times where you run the ball at Miles Sanders and you run it with him and it just gets swallowed up. This is ranked 30th. Miami defense against the run, ranked 30th, and you can't even run the ball on the I just don't get it. I understand we don't have Jordan Howard. I understand that, but this was one of the worst teams in the NFL against the run, and you literally couldn't even do anything on them at all. It's aggravating, and Carson still with these, still passing to these tight ends. Alshon Jeffrey didn't have a bad game at all. Like he went up and he did what he had to do in this game. He looked like he was almost 100% healthy. He looked like he was healthy out there.
He did. He really did.
Nelson Aguilar, I don't even know. He had that one run that, penalties. That's over 10 penalties in this game. I mean, Aguilar had a good catch and run upfield called back. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Some of them were bullshit, but it was absolutely ridiculous. The penalties. I mean, I don't know this is on the coaching. This is just they're not prepared to play in this game, and Mike Rowe is not putting these players in with these matchups in certain situations, to succeed in a football game. And it was just, I don't even know what to say about it. I flipped out. I couldn't even deal with it. I mean, I actually had this team losing this game just to say they're going to lose. I literally said I have them losing against the Dolphins just because. And I thought it really couldn't happen, but it really happened. Mm-hmm. And Fitzpatrick again, and he's turned out to be, Fitzpatrick didn't even, loves those deep threats. And Devontae Parker, I mean, like you said, 150. I mean, just 6 catches, 150 yards. That's just absolutely just jumping over our guys. Giusepp's another guy at tight end that was pummeling us. And they had a running back that was running all over us. I don't even know his damn name. I don't even know. And they had a punter or a kicker throwing to a punter for a touchdown. I mean, that's just embarrassing. Like I saw they all spread out. I was like, oh no, so we're gonna fall for it. We've every trick play. The Seattle did it to us, the Patriots did it to us, and now the Dolphins did it to us. And I just felt like they lost it. And I know everybody wants, Doug's head right now. I don't think that Doug will actually get fired. I just don't see it happening. I know everybody's jumping on the wagon to fire Doug Peterson right now, but Jeffrey Lurie has to take a hold of his team right now, and he needs to make some changes because this is just flat out embarrassing. And it's hard to watch. It really is. Like, we're still in it, but I mean, we're a game behind, but
you don't want to watch it. I understand completely. Like, you can go. Sorry, boss.
We got the Giants next week, this Monday night, and I'm afraid to play the Giants. I mean, look, Daniel Jones. He throws some really bad balls. He'll throw some easy picks, but he could throw the ball. Like he can really throw the ball. He has a really good arm, but it's just I don't even know what else to say about it at this point.
Let me tell you something, and I'm with you that I'm even scared versus the Giants. When you're scared versus the New York Football Giants that we have been killing since the Reed and McNabb era, you're scared versus these guys. You know this team is in turmoil. It comes from coaches and everything. I forgot all about the penalties. You're right. And that's a lack of discipline from the coaches are not disciplining these players right. You're versing one of the most undisciplined teams, the Miami Dolphins, that doesn't know how to do anything right. They don't even know how to line up a receiver right, how to call a goddamn play to save their damn lives or design one. And you're the one that's acting undisciplined and coming in, and it was embarrassing. And, Ryan Fitzpatrick was Ryan Fitzmagic that day. I mean, what do you have? He had 365 yards, 3 touchdowns. The one interception was the first play of the game. Now, listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick is usually a quarterback who's he's a rhythm passer. And he's the kind of guy that when he gets hot, he gets hot. But he's usually always cold. So when he threw that first interception, first play of the game, I said, we're in for a shitty Ryan Fitzpatrick day. We're about to kill this team real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then he turns into Fitzmagic and just does what he does. And I'm like, this guy, why does he love just playing the Eagles? It's like he watched the tape last year when he was the quarterback for the Buccaneers and just say, listen, I can just bang, 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 bang. And that's the biggest thing was Ryan Fitzpatrick's play. That's what it was, honestly. And as much as, I think he ain't no damn good quarterback. He's a backup, been in the league 14 years, 14 different teams, but always seems to shit on us. Let me tell you something. I wish Josh Rosen was playing that damn game because it would have been a different story. But at the end of the day, our defense played bad anyway. I give him credit for the past 2 weeks playing good. But that game was just, oh, my God. From everything from the trick play, I forgot all about the trick play. And that trick play was just terrible. I mean, and I watched it, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? I'm expecting them to kick a field goal. And then I see this whole little formation come out. Miami and the goddamn – remember that Colts formation versus the goddamn Patriots? I'm sitting there going, holy shit. I'm like, what they about to do here? I'm like, this thing's about to get blown up. Then he's going here, and I'm like, where's he going to throw to? There's no one open. And then he starts running. I'm like, yo, we're about to get him. And they had it planned so well. And it was like, man. And I'm calling it Monday night against the New York Football Giants that what's going to happen is this. They're going to get a trick play off on us. It's going to be 4 weeks in a row that we're going to get a trick play called on us for a touchdown. And the reason I say that, if you go back to last season with the Giants, a few of their touchdowns were Odell Beckham throwing the ball to Saquon Barkley. Now, What's his name ain't there no more? Odell Beckham. We know that. But they might have Golden Tate through it or Darius Slayton, wherever the hell. You never know. But they're going to look at that because Pat Shurmur, he called that play a few times last season, if you remember. He called it, I think 2 or 3 times he called that same play, whether it was Barkley throwing the ball to Odell throwing the ball to Barkley, and he's going to look at it and say, hey, listen, this is a perfect time in the season to call it. They got caught with trick plays 3 weeks in a row for touchdowns. It's time for us to do it. But that whole Dolphins game was just pathetic, and it was sad. It was a sad moment as an Eagles fan. And, it's to a point now where I'm going to watch the games, but you don't even want to watch them. You're just like, whatever, dude. Like, we lost to Miami, and a lot of people were upset and mad. I wasn't even upset. I feel like I lost all emotion. Like, I was completely numb. I was just like, okay, yep. This is a downfall. This is the one of the worst losses I've seen in a long time. And I say, you know what? It's whatever. I wasn't even mad, angry, pissed off, nothing. I say, you know what? It's whatever. And at the same time, people are like talking about making the playoffs. I don't even want to make the freaking playoffs, dude, because what's the point? You make it, and we're going to lose in the damn playoffs anyway. We beaten San Fran, 10-2 team. Nope. We beaten Seattle. Our defense shows up like he did before. I'm not even showing this what-if scenario. The son of a bitches ain't making it. Tank Get us the draft pick and get us a goddamn wide receiver in here. That's all I'm gonna go. That's all I'm gonna go with, man. Screw it.
I think.
What if this? What if that? I'm done with it, man. I'm done with what if.
I think after the Seattle game, I think we had from what I read, I think we had the 17th overall pick in the draft next year. So, I at this point, I would love a top 20 pick, whatever. I mean, as of right now,
I didn't look into it. Some guy was saying that after we just lost to Miami, we have the 8th overall pick. I'm like, how the hell do we have the 8th overall pick?
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that. Lions got 3 wins. That's it. Redskins got 3 wins. I don't know, but that's just some dude online. He had a mock draft going up. I'm like, I guess that was his season final prediction of the we're gonna go 5-11. I guess I don't know what the hell I'm reading. But yeah,
even with Jim Schwartz as well. Like I honestly, like I think we have the pass rush. Even with losing Malik Jackson beginning of the year, just having so many injuries. And Brandon Graham was still coming back to 100%. He's got 8 sacks for the year right now, almost in double digits where we wanted him to be. That's where we were afraid of giving him that big contract, which we were very surprised he even got that big contract. And thank God we did because most defensive ends in the league were franchise tagged. So. This cornerback situation, it's worked out. We need to bring in like some good talent. I mean, it's just we took chances, we took risks. We've tried to get guys at the trade deadline. What's his name? From Jacksonville that went to
Jalen Ramsey.
We tried to get Jalen Ramsey, and they offered a first and second round pick, but they wouldn't offer 2 firsts and a 4th, and that's why you gotta be hesitant. I was all in for it. I honestly didn't care if they wanted to bring him in. I didn't care, but at this point, like Darby, like he's on the 1-year deal right now. He's got to go. Jalen Mills, I don't know what they're gonna do. If Schwartz stays, I have a feeling that Jalen Mills will stay, maybe. I mean, he's up for a contract after this year, but it's not going to be nothing huge. I don't know what he's expecting. But they need to bring in some fresh meat. Like, we need fresh meat everywhere. Like, we need some – I feel like there's just the hunger's not there with this team. I feel like after that Super Bowl win, I just feel like – I don't know. And it's just weird to say. When Nick Foles was here, even when Carson had the back fracture and he just looked horrible last year, and then Nick Foles came in, I just feel like this team played harder for Foles in a weird way. Like, I don't know what it is. It just looks different. And Wentz with his progressions, his progressions are really bad. He's only looking at half the field. You know where he's throwing the ball. He literally gets the ball. He looks in one spot the whole entire time, and he literally he has no quick release on the football. Every play, it's not a quick release. It's literally he's putting his arm back, and I mean that's it. And you know how what Wentz does. He's not going to throw the ball out of bounds. He's not going to slide. The guy is going to, if he's getting tackled, he's still going to throw the ball. So it doesn't even matter.
And speaking, of course, Wentz like that, you're right. And at the same time, I look at it and I say to myself, hey. Like you said, he doesn't get rid of the ball fast. And I said the same thing, like you were just saying. I remember before he would always get the ball out quick, this and that. If you look at some of those plays where he get the ball out quick, they were like RPO plays. With this year, I don't know what happened with a lot of that. And some of the RPO plays they are calling are just, I guess they're going deep with it, or what the hell, taking deep shot RPOs. I don't know what's going on. But that's also with Nick Foles, is that I understand Carson Wentz has more talent than Nick Foles in terms of arm strength, speed, everything, head to toe, everything in terms of world-class talent, okay? And I think Doug knows that, and since he drafted him all this, and he expects this guy just to do everything. Let's just call this play and that play and everything make it difficult. When Foles was in, it was so simplified. And a lot of people are saying, well, no, it was because Foles checked it down and did. I'm like, dude, had nothing to do with that. Watch the fucking game. Read option. Everything was in his hands. If you want to run it, let the running back run it. If not, take it in, hit right here. He took all the Chip Kelly plays and all this and that and implemented into one. And then once Carson comes back, and even last season, I'm not even the Super Bowl year. Super Bowl year, they actually used those plays like a little bit with the Wentz ones or whatever with Foles. Right. And then they kind of changed. Then same thing last year. Wentz gets hurt again. Foles comes in, and they start doing simplified stuff. And that's all you have to do is simplified stuff. I understand this guy has a mega arm, and he can run, and he, tree trunks for legs, and he's like Andrew Luck, blah, 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 whatever. the same time, man, you make it simple for the guy. And that's why I don't know if it's Doug or if it's coordinators and they're watching him in practice, and you got I'm just making an example, right? It's like, say you have a good car that it's a good car. It runs really nice. It goes here, goes there. And then you got a freaking Ferrari right here. And you're like, listen, I want to pump this motherfucker 120 miles. You know what I'm saying? Real freaking fast. That's what it's like. Instead of just saying, like, listen, yeah, I might have this Ferrari, but let me drive it around a school zone for 25 miles an hour or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Everything just seems so much more simplified with him in. And I'm not going to get into that because, listen, they ain't simplified down there in Jacksonville. His ass got benched once again. So I'm not even worried about him. But in terms of Carson Wentz, always looking down the field, you're right. He does see the one read, and the read's not there. Then he's looking. And he needs to learn to live to play another down and live to see another day. In terms of what I mean by that is he needs to get rid of the ball. When no one can get open, including these trash-ass receivers. These guys can't get open. Throw it out of bounds, dude. Or run. Or just anything. He's holding on to the ball like this. Waiting for someone. Pat, wait. And then get sacked or fumbles it. Dude, your clock needs to be faster in your head. You need to know, listen, all right, these guys ain't getting open, dude. I'm just going to throw it out of bounds. Don't put it in harm's way. Do not put it, throw it towards a defender. Or don't get sacked and get stripped. And even if you just get sacked, you don't fumble. It's still a loss of downs in terms of you probably lose 6 or 7 freaking yards or more because you're probably gonna break the first sack and then start running like this. And then it's a mess. And it all goes back to, in my opinion, the year they had the Super Bowl year. They had the right coaches in terms of they had Wentz there, Frank Reich, John DeFilippo was the quarterback coach. They were all perfectly in line, and they were all perfectly in sync. It was like watching something. They were like, oh, it was like something of beauty. You know what I mean? It was like they knew everything of every second. They helped him with everything, the hitch of his foot in the back, and whatever it might be. But one thing with Carson Wentz after this season is that he should go back to Tom House. Now, I don't remember who Tom House is, but he's the guy. He's a quarterback coach who trained Brady, Brees, Alex, a bunch of guys. If you don't, I don't know if you remember, but before the 2017 season, Carson Wentz trained with him. And I don't know if you remember, it was a big report how the Eagles front office was a little mad that he did that.
Yeah.
He needs to go back. In my opinion, he needs to go back to it this summer, this offseason, go back to that guy. Because that guy taught him whatever he taught him. And the guy had an MVP season and was playing out of his goddamn mind. So go back to Tom House and let him teach him a few things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know what? Like, I think this season just needs to be done. I think he needs to have a whole off season. I think he needs to be at peace with himself and let the front office do what they got to do, make some changes, whatever they got to do. As we all know, from Morgan Report, they had on ESPN, I think yesterday morning, that the Eagles are going to be making some staff changes, which obviously bearing the playoffs. So if they make the playoffs, they're not going to make any changes until after the playoffs. And if, they lose another game, they lose this Monday, it's done. Like, it's done. Give the Cowboys the division. Not like they're going to go anywhere anyway, but it's just finished. Like, I can't even watch. I mean, literally, you have the NFC East left on your schedule. That's it. You got the Giants twice. You got the Redskins. You got the Cowboys. So, I mean, you literally just have to. You got to go into these games, and you really have to put your foot down and see what this team's all about at the end of the year. Because right now, I really don't have any answers because someone's got to go. I thought maybe after this game, someone been gone. I don't want to hear Doug saying we control our own destiny, blah blah blah, all this bullshit that he says every damn time. I'm tired of it. Like, he was on the radio. He was on 94 WIP. I think 2 days. It was after the game. It was the next morning.
Yep.
It was Monday, and he said he was disgusted. He said he was mad. He said he was angry, and he said that the Dolphins wanted it more. Which then yesterday, when he had his press conference, he said, "Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that we literally gave up too many big plays and." All the plays that we had positive plays, but turned out to be penalties and brought us back. So, I mean, I mean, Jason Peters leaves the game. I'm like, this guy just has to retire. Like, we love you. We'll love you forever. We'll love you for life. You're the bodyguard for life. You're going to be in the Eagles Hall of Fame,
And
just
in the NFL Hall of Fame.
and the NFL Hall of Fame. So he just has to go. And even when we moved Dillard to the right side last week, I was like, this is it. This ain't going to be good. I'm like, I don't care how good in practice he looks at right tackle. You can't move a left tackle to right tackle for 1 week for a game. Lane Johnson did it, a year or two? He did it a year or two. He played on the left side, and it was horrible. He was horrible. So they're just doing things and they're just putting Band-Aids on too much shit. They're just pity-patting this team around.
It's too much. And even I'm not saying just Doug, I'm not trying to blame just Doug, but whether it be him or to be, Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, but anyone who has played offensive line or knows the offensive line is that if you're a left tackle, right, your whole body is positioned like towards that. All your weight is on, like, say, the right side or whatever side. And then you want him within a week to switch from a left tackle to a right tackle. His whole body's going to be imbalanced. The strength on this side to block that way is going to be going this way, and it's going to be short-handed. And the thing that it blew my mind, I was like, man, you have a rookie saying this in a press conference. What did he say? They said, how do you feel about moving to right tackle? He goes, I write with my left hand. Or he said some weird shit like that, and I'm like, what? He's a rookie. He's coming out and he's saying, hey, basically the coaches don't know what the hell they're talking about. I can't do this. And it was bad. He's going to be a great left tackle. And much I love Jason Peters, I would have just told Jason Peters, keep sitting. Even if you're healthy or not, keep sitting now, bro. Because he was doing great at left tackle. He was. What's Andre Dillard?
Andre Dillard, yeah.
Yeah. But, and what you were saying about the staff changes by him, I saw that today. Jeffrey Lurie. People don't know Jeffrey Lurie, owner of the Eagles. Anyone who I know who's tuning in, he probably don't whatever. But yeah, he's owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's not really like that where he makes changes too frequently, but he also holds himself to a high standard and the team has to perform at a high level. Now, for changes to be made, I don't see them being made in season. I mean, the last one that was made in season, besides Chip Kelly getting fired as head coach, was an assistant coach in 2012, Andy Reid's last season. Juan Castillo was fired. Was it Juan Castillo was the defensive coordinator? Yeah, and then Todd Bowles took over. He got fired this season. And Andy Reid, the only reason Andy Reid did that is because he knew he was treading hot waters, and he was like, yo, I'm about to be out of here. Like, he was riding the hot seat real heavy. So he knew that, hey, if I may make a position change, maybe it'll help the defense. But that whole season was done and over with. But he was just trying to save his job somehow, some way. But so this season, I don't see anyone getting fired within season. Off season, there better be firings. And first starts with Mike Groh. Like I've been saying, even since last year. And that's why last year I was happy we made the playoffs just because we were this close to making it to the NFL game and going back to the Super Bowl and rematch against the Patriots, part 3. But let me tell you this, the trilogy fight, it would have been called. But listen, Mike Groh, man, he's not an offensive coordinator. The guy is not an offensive coordinator. When me and you talked before we came on air. Now, Golden Tate was with us. Went to the Giants.
Right.
My friend who's a Giants fan is saying, I don't like him, blah, 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 this, that. Because Golden Tate was complaining after his first game as a Giant that he wasn't getting the ball enough or something about the scheme or something, whatever this article my friend who's a Giants fan sent me. I said, listen, Golden Tate's pretty decent. He goes, listen, I watch a lot of your guys' games because he's from around here, so he can only catch those games. He was trying to tell me, Golden Tate, he isn't good. Golden Tate, look at him. He's balling out. He's really not balling out, but hell, I'll take him. He's making terrific catches, big catches. When Mike Groh came to the stands and said, listen, Golden Tate, I don't know how to use him. You're talking about a guy since 2010 is the best receiver in yards after the catch in terms of number-wise. You don't know how to use him? I've been saying this for weeks. Mike Groh has got to go. I don't give a damn if I got to make the shirt of that saying. Mike Groh has got to go, baby. I'm sick and tired of this guy. I can call. Like I said once again, I ain't nobody. I can call a damn offense better than he could. It's simple, man. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm to the point where I'll take J. Damn Gruden as a goddamn offensive coordinator. That ain't a bad option. But let's stay in 2019. Let's not talk about 2020 yet, but still.
Or Mike McCarthy.
I love that, but I don't think he'll do it.
No, probably not.
He wants to be a head coach. He's still highly thought after, which I don't understand, but yeah.
They got so all said and done with that game, it's just back to the drawing board it is for Monday night against the Giants, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But another thing I want to talk about is, so it was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was an article that came out that there was extensions that were going to get given out to Malcolm Jenkins, Zach Ertz. There was extensions being talked to about a few players. Now, we already got Brandon Brooks, and Lane Johnson got pretty big extensions, made Lane Johnson the highest right tackle in the league, which he deserves. And keeping Brandon Brooks. I mean, before Brandon Brooks came here, he was a free agent coming out of Houston, not a good, a very athletic guard, but wasn't coached properly and became, in my opinion, the best right guard in the league. It only allowed, I think, one pressure this whole year so far while getting that contract. So I know the right side is shored up right now. Now, Malcolm Jenkins at 32 years old, with Rodney McLeod already leaving. We restructured Rodney McLeod this offseason. He's going to be here just for this year. Rodney McLeod is gone. Malcolm Jenkins wants more money. Thinks he's getting underpaid. He didn't stay out of practices or whatever in the offseason. And then Zach Ertz, another guy. We drafted Dallas Goedert, and I think Dallas Goedert is really good. I think Zach Ertz has the route running, but I really do think that Dallas Goedert can out. I've seen him outrun. I've seen him. His size. I mean, he is absolutely amazing. And I don't honestly know if I really want to give Malcolm Jenkins more money, and I don't even think I want to even get Zach Ertz an opportunity for another big contract. To be honest, I'd say really get some compensation for these guys and get some fresh meat on this team, because the cornerback situation, you could have both corners gone, both safeties. Rodney McLeod's gone. You're only have Jenkins, and how much is Jenkins going to actually do for this team if it's that empty in this defense? He can't do everything by himself, but he's getting up there in age now. So I don't know if our money should be thrown in that direction. Zach Ertz, you can get very good compensation for him. I don't know how you feel about trading Zach Ertz for compensation, but at this time, it's just something has to be done. And the problem with this team right now is that emotionally, this team's emotions runs higher than business. And unfortunately, they tend to favor that to the point where they just want to grab players and keep players here, or keep players here because they were part of the Super Bowl run, or keep players because they're close to the organization. And I just want to know your thoughts on Zach Ertz, or just the perspective of keep re-signing these, having one of the oldest rosters in the league right now at this point. So
it's funny. I was thinking about that today while I was on break at work. I was getting something to eat, and I was just thinking about Malcolm Jenkins, and it is his final year of his deal, if I'm correct, right? You were just saying, it's bittersweet getting rid of him. Just on the fact that he came here as a free agent, signed here, got us a Super Bowl. He's been a leader of that defense, and we have had safety troubles since Dawkins was traded back. What was that? 2010,
I think
2010, 2011, something around there, to the Denver Broncos. We had safety troubles for years. And of course, Brian Dawkins is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest safeties, if not the greatest, to ever play the game. So I understand that you're going to have troubles once you get rid of some guy like that, even though he was getting older in age. But Malcolm Jenkins, he's been the leader. He's been the captain of the defense. He does everything in terms of he can go out in coverage, and then when we need someone to play against a slot receiver, they put him out there. Even though he's not the best at it, he tries. And then in the box, he's a beast. His tackling ability is awesome in terms of just I see him just wrap up guys, just wrap them up. And, and he gets us to Super Bowl, like I said, and he did everything in that game to win us that Super Bowl. So it's bittersweet if we had to get rid of him. And not just that, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, who could you replace him with? Is there a big free agent coming out there? We'll see come free agency time. Do they trade for somebody in the draft? This is the thing about that with the whole drafting somebody, if you had to, is that with our first round pick, depending on what happens, I honestly, we'll wait until the draft comes out and who's eligible and who's going to, come out of college. I would want a wide receiver, to be honest, in the first round or second round. Absolutely. Unless you have the best whatever, but the best, safety out there, and he's on the board when we were there. But so Cameron Jenkins is bittersweet just because we know how bad it's been since Dawkins left. Like, it was bad, man. We had Kirk Coleman and freaking, I can name the list of these scrubs that we had out there. Nate Allen. He was a nice guy. I met him. He was a real good dude. Got his autograph and everything, but he's a bum. And it sucks he was a bum too, because I didn't make any money off his autograph anyway. So, I'm kidding. Yeah. So we had a lot of those troubles for, a while, and it's hard for me to let go of someone like that. If there was a way I could sign into maybe a 1 or 2 year deal. And it sucks because right now they're saying he's statistically maybe having one of his worst seasons. But at the same time, every time I'm watching the game, I see him making plays of some sort, whether it's a tackle or whether it's a big tackle of losses or this, that. He's there. He's on the play. So statistic-wise, I don't give a damn about statistic-wise, but he's there every week. He's pumping guys up. He's trying to keep the locker room together. We get it. If there's some way you can if there's some way you can sign him for a year or two, something like that, like give him, even though he probably won't take that. He'll probably be like, listen, I can go somewhere and get, like, not a big deal because he's older, but right. Someone will offer more. A team that would definitely offer him some money would probably be the Saints, just because they wanted him back. If you remember, they were offering us Brandon Cooks right before that Super Bowl season, and they tried to trade for him again. I think the season before, something like that. They knew they screwed up when they got rid of him. But Malcolm Jenkins, I would try to re-sign him somehow to like a 1 year or 2 year deal, something like that, and maybe draft a guy he can develop or whatever it might be. I'll keep it on the safety talk for 1 second before I get to Zach Ertz. With the safety, me and one of my friends were talking about how Jamal Adams is a beast.
Oh, yeah.
He's in my opinion, he has to be the best safety in the league. And there might be another guy there, maybe Earl Thomas or whoever. I'm just floating off the top of my head, but he's real young, still on his rookie deal. And we just talked about it. I said, listen, if they came to us and said, listen, give us a second round pick and this, because his frustrations and all this stuff went on, he trade blocked. If they said a second round pick and another player, a second round pick and another pick, I would do it.
Yeah.
Or even if they said 2 twos, a second this year, a second next year. And my friend's like, oh, that's 2 starters. I'm like, they're not 2 guaranteed starters. For example, the Eagles have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who's on the freaking bench, and a second rounder, Miles Sanders, who's at least getting some starting time, but, doesn't prove as starters. Not always. But 2 twos, I would do it just because, you know what I mean? This guy's certified as one of the best in his position. He's young, on his rookie deal. He's a beast. But I don't know. Malcolm Jenkins, we'll see what happens with that. It'll be bittersweet to get rid of him just because we don't know what you're going to do with safety now. And no one earlier on this year, was it Roddy McLeod, who was still out from injury from last year? And we had all those troubles. Who the hell was playing safety? We had that scrub guy who used to play for the Vikings. I can't remember his goddamn name. He signed back with the Vikings.
Andrew Sendejo, yeah.
Oh, my God, man. First for week 1, that touchdown he gave up was literally the one with he can't even name the one he gave up so goddamn many. The one he gave up to the dude, Davis. Goddamn, drawing a blank. Old guy, tight end off the Redskins. You know who I'm talking about. Vernon Davis, dude. He's an old head. He's been around for a minute, man. But yeah, dude, he freaking just whiffed that tackle and he took it to the house. And I'm watching the game like, you fucking kidding me? But yeah, so he's every time that something went wrong, he was in the picture somehow. And then they had other guy, Cypress, whatever the hell his name was.
Cyprien, yeah.
Yeah, Cyprien. So the safety is a big position, including how we seen how much we missed when Dawkins left. And now I'm like, do I really want Malcolm to leave? So we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I do think they might move on, and I don't want that to happen, but we'll see. In terms of Zach Ertz, I've been a big fan of Zach Ertz even when he came to the Eagles in 2013. His rookie season, he was featured somewhat just because you had Brent Selleck's still there.
Right.
But every time he was on the field, he was getting touchdowns. He was real athletic. And I'm watching him as a tight end because me, growing up seeing tight ends, usually just big guys, make big catches. But to me, it was like, wow, he's a big guy. Of course, like a tight end is. He had a little bit of speed to me. And he was, he had that agility. I'm like, wow, this guy right here, whatever, And, but as time went on now I'm watching and I'm saying to myself, like, I'm sick and tired of seeing him every time he catches the ball just go down. No yards after the catch.
Nope.
And he's still one of the best tight ends in the league. No doubt about it. Even though this Miami game, which I'm trying to get rid of, he freaking dropped that ball, which, oh my God, that costed us, dude. That cost us so much yardage. And that was a 2nd and 7 or 3rd and 7. He drops that wide open pass. I forgave him, whatever. And I know last year he led the league in most receptions in a season or whatever by
obviously.
Yeah, he was the only damn good receiver on the field. And the funny thing is, every time he caught the ball, though, he could have caught, okay, for example, 100 and whatever, 20-something catches he caught. A 3-yard pass, there you go. Boom, down. 3-yard pass, there's one. 3-yard pass, there's one. He's down. The damn guy ain't moving up the field. And just to prove it, you see Dallas Goedert. They're making tight end screens designed for Dallas Goedert. That's it, because he has speed after the catch. Now he has a little bit of a fumbling problem once it gets wrapped up. But coming out of college, I watched Goedert before we even got him, and there was rumors because I know the Eagles and how the organization works. I know how when they interview people, they say at the Senior Bowl or they interview people before the draft.
Right.
There's those few guys that always end up becoming our draft picks. Like I predicted Nelson Aguilar to be the 15th pick, our 15th overall pick in that draft. I did because I looked at it when Kelly was here and the whole regime and how they interviewed him and they worked him out. So I was like, Goddard might be the guy. And then I was like, oh, we lost Brent Selleck also, so might be the guy. Let me look him up. Man, he had hands like I was like, man, one-hand catches, had the speed, had the can break tackles. Route running is still Zach Ertz's, ordeal.
Right.
But if he learns the route running, he could be our number one tight end. He has the speed, has the hands, has the size. If he learns not to fumble as much, not too, he doesn't fumble all the time, but I'm, you know what I mean. Learns to hold the ball a little better. And gets his route running up, dude, he could be something. That's what I'm trying. Like, for example, in some of our some of our running downs, I don't know if you noticed, going back to his rookie year, Dallas Goedert, where he didn't see much playing time, they had him on the field as a run blocker instead of Zach Ertz. And I was like, what's that? Oh, because he's a better blocker than Ertz. That's another knock on Ertz. Can't block. Now his blocking's got better, though. It has evolved a lot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%. Before it was, he can't block, can't break, all that shit. Like, what's his name? Jason Kelsey said in the speech. But the way it's looking with everyone getting older and all that, if you can somehow, and I hate to say it, trade Ertz, but if you can get some good compensation, like I would maybe do it because I always support Ertz. And even after last year, I was like, yo, he's the best tight end in the league. That's what I thought. And a lot of people were telling me, George Kittle's better. I'm like, dude, George Kittle's been in the league for freaking 3 years and finally had a breakout year last year. But now watching this year and last year, he might be the best tight end in the league, George Kittle off the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, man, he has the speed. He's ferocious. And that's what you want. But it'll be tough, man. It'll be tough for me. I don't know.
Yeah, look at these guys like O.J. Howard. Look at these guys like the tight end off the Redskins that's, he's always hurt every year.
Oh, my God. I haven't
got his damn name.
Got my tip of my tongue. Oh, damn, now you got me tongue twisted too.
I haven't said his name in so long. I don't even remember.
I know he was a beast. He killed us that one year. 2016 or whatever it was. Chip Kelly's final game. I was there live. He ripped us up, dude. Oh my God. How was this guy's name?
Forgot his damn name.
Whatever, dude. I'm getting pissed off, man. Thinking about it.
So, it's like Dallas Goedert, even that big run that was called back against the Cowboys last year, that big run he had, he's got that toughness. He just, when he ran up the field and outran the defense for a touchdown that was called back for, offensive interference by Dallas Goedert, which it wasn't. My God, the guy has so much talent. He really, like you said, the size, he can literally jump over people. And if Wentz puts that ball in the right spot, it's pretty much automatic with him. So I have I just can't stand doing these 2 tight end sets for a whole entire game. I can't stand it. It's just like tight end screen to Zach Ertz, to Dallas. I mean, that's all it is the whole game. I mean, no one else is in this offense right now. Jordan Reed, that's his name. Thank you, Philly Mike. Jordan Reed. So
yeah, Jordan Reed. Yep.
So I'm kind of hesitant with the whole Zach, but you can't pay everybody. It's just you just can't pay everybody. So if, like you said, if Malcolm get a 1-2 year deal, cool. But if it's to the point where it's going to be draining our cap, then I don't know how much are they going to pay. Zach Ertz to this a big extension until he retires. I honestly don't know. They want to keep Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz together. They want to pair them up, together. They might have to change this offense a little bit. Like I said, you're coming to a draft next year that's very deep at receiver, and the Eagles could snatch one of those guys, and they could be on field day one. So we'll have to see, but hey, it is what it is. I'm happy about. I'm glad that Howie Roseman at least thinks about the trenches. We extended Kelsey, Samalo. I'm like up in the air about. He's good, then he's bad, then he's good. I don't know about him too much. But I'm glad that Lane and Brandon Brooks got their contracts. I'm glad that they're going to be here for another 4 years. And you got to take advantage of this offensive line. It's one of the best, and it's going to be really good for the coming years. And they just need to get this offense worked out, and that's pretty much it. So
yeah. I'm happy they fixed it up too, man. In terms of extending the line, Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, Kelsey. You said they extended Kelsey?
Yeah, I forgot it was in the offseason.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And that's funny because when I was watching the game on Sunday, I was standing just watching it, and I'm watching Kelsey on the field, and I'm like, just thinking how I already had us losing by the time we're at the 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, this game's about to be over, we're about to lose. And I'm looking at the guys we have, and I'm like, Kelsey was out in the field, and they were showing a big glimpse of him like this before he thought to snap the ball, and I'm like, because wasn't it after he won the Super Bowl, or was it last season? He was about to retire. He was contemplating retirement, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, we can lose a lot. We could trade a lot of these guys or whatever happens, but okay, we re-sign Brandon Brooks extension, re-sign Lane Johnson, secure the whole right side of your line right there. Boom. Left side is gonna be good by Andre Dillard, whatever with Selamalo, whatever. But I'm like, Kelsey, you lose him. I'm like, what are we gonna do for center? But now you're explaining to me about the extension. I forgot all about the extension. I forgot all about it, and that scared me. That really scared me. I'm like, listen, that's the one guy. You need the center, man. The tackles are the biggest parts. The tackles in the center. The guards are big parts too, but it's always the tackles, the center, because he's the one snapping the ball, has the rapport with the quarterback. The tackles, the guards play a big part too. But if you have two good tackles and the center, your guards can get by a little bit in terms of what your scheme is. If you're trying to run the ball, then it might be a little difficult. But when you have a great guard like Brandon Brooks, it helps 100%. Definitely helps. You can see how big those freaking holes are when they're trying to run through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's really scary. I was thinking about it. Thinking about how this whole offseason is going to be a big change. This guy's going to get cut. This guy's going to get traded. We're not going to resign these older guys. And then I was like, in back then, I was like, oh, damn, what about Kelsey? He was contemplating retiring just before the other season. I'm like, is he going to retire after this season after how bad it's been? But then now you're bringing up the extension. I'm so happy I heard that because I forgot all about it. And I was really been thinking about it since that Sunday game, watching it and just watching him. And I'm like, because center's a tough thing to get, to find. I mean, yeah, you can draft one or whatever, but that's not, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he gave extensions. No, except for left tackle, he gave extensions to the whole offensive line. Everybody is literally playing until 2024. Literally,
he also gave. Well, he did not give an extension to Jason Peters, but he signed to that 1 year this year.
Right,
which is smart. And that's why a lot of people bash Howie. But I look at it. Listen, you gave him his 1 year, and then you went out, and I guess he was looking for someone else at the first round. The next thing you know, you heard the Texans wanted Andre Dillard. He traded up to get him. And you even heard Daniel Jeremiah, the analyst for NFL Network, draft analyst. He's like, man, I don't know how this guy is still on the board. He is the best passing tackle in this draft, in his
Right.
opinion, best passing wise tackle. And I was like, wow, passing wise, damn, and that's good. I take that over a run attack, a guy who's a good tackle at run blocking. I take the pass blocking over the run blocking. You know what I mean? Because the pass blocking is like the biggest. You know what I mean? When you're trying to protect your quarterback from getting hurt, or getting sacked, or losing downs. But to get him and trade up above the Texans to get him, and that's why Texans had to draft whoever they drafted.
Titus Howard
had to draft him because they were just stuck. That was another smart move by Howie, and to secure our offensive line. And a lot of people at the time were upset about the pick. Oh man, I tell people all the time, listen, I said offensive line is not always the sexy pick. It's not the quarterback, the wide receiver, the running back. Oh my God, that's the flashy defensive, corner, safety. Same thing with defensive linemen. They draft defensive linemen. Who's this guy? But look, at the end of the day, you win games in the trenches. And it's that simple.
Yep.
On an offensive line or defensive line, that's how you win games. That's how you win Super Bowls too, and that's how you win playoff games. Have a great defensive line, great offensive line, solid quarterback play, and you can go really far with it. Look at the 49ers. Great offensive line. Defensive line is just balling out. And that's what we had the year we did our thing too. Even the Giants at the time, they were like, what the hell were they? 9-7 or somehow slept into the playoffs? Defensive line was feasting. That's what it takes. Great D-line, great O-line. Win in the trenches. That's how you win games, man. It's that simple.
Yeah, and just moving up to get Andre Dillard in front of the Texans. Look what the Texans had to do. They had to trade for Laramie Tunsil and get Kenny Stills and all these guys. And they literally have no draft picks this year. They literally have no draft picks because they literally went out and just brought it. They're thinking, hey, we can win now. So that's what you make a team do. But that's not the smart way in doing that. It's really not. So
it's not. They went for broke. They went and they said, you know what, we're gonna give everything up. We're going for it all this year. And at the time they already had a good team. They still have a good team.
Mm-hmm.
But they thought, you know what, we invest because their line's been really bad for many years now. And even with Deshaun Watson being the phenomenal talent he is, he gets hit way too much. And they say, you know what, we're going to get him a lineman and this and that and this and that. And they started just doing too many trades and everything. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, they went for it all, and they're good. They're still a good team. They're going to be good in the playoffs. But I don't think they expected the Chiefs to be good. And I think they expect the Patriots to be good. They definitely expected the Ravens to be good, but not this good. And I think because they're in the same conference. You know what I mean? So the Texans, they expected Patriots and Chiefs to be good and Ravens to be good, but not this good. So they're probably like, oh, damn, yeah, maybe we went a little too much on that shit. Thought we were going all in and just we get a Super Bowl or something. But yeah, they still have a shot. But
yeah, the Texans and just to remind you, the Texans haven't had a GM all year. They've been making moves. They've been making moves without any type of
lot
GM,
of moves, man.
You could tell. You could tell.
You got Bill O'Brien running that squad over there. He's basically running the damn GM spot. It seems like.
So with all that said, a move was made today. The Eagles have released Mac Hollins. Oh my God. Our prayers have been answered just a little bit. So a guy that had a 4th-round pick that in 2017, he looked like a different player in 17 because honestly, whenever he got in the game, he had the best hand. He never wore gloves to practice. He'd catch everything barehanded. And every time he got his chance in a game, he tore it up. I mean, he tore it up, whether it was a little screen pass, whether he had that deep bomb in that Redskins game. I mean, he tore it up. Then ever since that groin injury, he was out for a couple seasons. And then he pretty much said, hey, I'd rather play special teams than, be a wide receiver. And then being in this offense. And then even after that Cowboys game, Mike Rowe had to come out and he had to say that. And someone asked him a question about Mac Hollins in the Cowboys game. And Mike Rowe quoted saying, Mac Hollins ran some really good routes. He ran some really good routes. He hasn't had a reception since September. I mean, and they still kept him in this offense. That's why we were like, bring up somebody that's hungry. Bring up Greg Ward. Bring up somebody. I mean, Shelton Gibson's gone. We got rid of him. He's with the Browns now. And the other guy from the oh my God, we released him. He was like a speed guy last year in preseason. That fast guy that we had, and we ended up
Walton or
releasing
something like
him.
that.
No, I forgot his name.
Number 84 with the dreads. No,
I forgot his name. But
speed guy.
Another guy that we had and we let him go. I forgot his damn name. He went to the Texans. I forgot his name, but we pretty much lost speed after that. We literally had after Deshaun going down.
Marcus Johnson, though.
No, we traded him for that Bennett. That was the Bennett trade.
Walton had something like that. I don't know.
We literally had so much. We've had some guys in the background, but I was like saying, bring somebody up from practice squad. Bring somebody up that that's hungry to go out there and play, because we need, Greg Ward, when he came in to play the first time, he had some separation. They didn't throw the ball to him enough. Honestly, they didn't throw the ball to him enough, and it was just a complete mess. They give up on younger players so easily. Like, they'll make one good catch. Shelton Gibson against the Vikings, he had that catch in double coverage, and they took him out of the game, the rest of the game. I just don't get it with these guys. But Matt Collins been dealing with the groin injury, has not been. DeAndre Carter, that's his name. Thank you, Lord Dagger. DeAndre Carter, that was his name. Guy had speed. Guy could have been at least something in the background of this. He's been on 6 practice squads. The guy's been hungry to play, and the Eagles end up getting rid of him. So Matt Collins, he just doesn't have it. Just can't get separation, and the Eagles release him. And I've been tired of him being in this offense. And then when the Eagles say, "Oh, we're going to give J.J. Arcega-Whiteside more, he's going to start opposite Alshon Jeffrey," I was hoping to God that they weren't going to put Matt Collins in the game, and they did. They put him right in the game, and not doing much, not doing anything. I'm just glad that he's gone. I'm just glad that it's done. So I don't know what your views are on Matt Collins, but I'm just glad it's over.
I'll tell you what, I'm happy. I'm happy he's gone. And I mean, he was put in a position. I mean, in 2017, he played a few games or whatever. He came in a little bit, and he had some catches. He had that big bomb against the Redskins, like we said in 2017. I think he had another good catch against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever game it was. But this year he's put in a position where, and it seemed last year we didn't see him at all after that injury. Matt Collins, even when he was drafted, he was a 5th-round pick, if I'm correct, right, from North Carolina. They automatically, like, when I read his scout report and everything, and they said, hey, he's really good special teams guy. That's what the report said for his draft thing. He can develop, into someone, but whatever. So I think the whole reason he stayed this long was because I don't think they were even expecting him to really be starting out there as a second receiver or a first receiver. And that's why that goes back to coaching staff, because you drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in the 2nd round, and you did not have him on the field. If Matt Collins is a great special teams player, you keep Matt Collins, have him on special teams. You put J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the guy you drafted in the 2nd round, which is basically almost a first rounder. Like, it's the difference between, a 5th round and a 2nd round. This is the reason why you have. So if someone goes down, J.J. is basically, in terms of height, speed, catchability, coming out of college, compared to Alshon Jeffrey. Jeffrey goes down, you give him the shot. You put him out there in terms of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And then Matt Collins do his little safety special teams thing. I don't know if they had no faith in J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, or they weren't planning. Once again, it had to be on coaching, because they weren't planning on, I guess, injuries, which is part of the game. And they didn't think that he was going to step in and start playing that soon, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So I don't know. But Matt Collins, I'm happy he's gone. He was decent on special teams, but whatever. He was whatever. Greg Ward came out the week prior against Seattle. He showed me a little something. Now, I'm not going to get on this big thing, because every freaking year it's a guy off the practice squad, whether it be Paul Turner. Remember that damn train to Paul Turner? Oh, my God. Then they finally put him in against the Bengals. That was 2016. He had a couple of catches. Oh, my God. Blah, blah. And then, every year it's this little favorite practice squad guy. Greg Ward, though, he's been here for, I think last year's practice squad too. I think
he's been on and off. He went to the AAF.
Yeah.
He went to the AAF.
Yeah,
He actually was a really good receiver there. And then when that fell through, he signed back with us. That's how that happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not hyping him up, but if you're a practice squad guy and you're playing for the AAF and then come in and out and you're better than Matt Collins, that says a lot. But I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Collins is signed by the Patriots by next week and has 2 touchdowns and 145 yards next week. Oh my God, man. Christ.
Yeah, and just if why see, and the problem is, it's like if you don't have you drafted the guy in the second round, so regardless of second round, third round, whatever it is, like I'm not saying a sixth round receiver or something like that, but I'm saying if Matt Collins hasn't been producing since September, why haven't you? Are you going to wait till next preseason to put Arcega in a game and then just say, we're just going to let him sit again? He's not going to get better by playing in preseason games. Like, he's got to be in games. Well, so if you have Matt Collins that's not even producing in a fucking game since September, and you're just like, no, it's okay. We're just going to keep putting him in, starting him every game. We're going to keep starting him. And there's no production. I mean, they should have made this decision a few months ago. I mean, it's been months, not even a reception. I mean, it's just – and I'm seeing guys like DK Metcalf. I'm seeing the second rounder that the Bills took. I mean, all these guys I'm seeing, I'm like, they're all using the guys that they've drafted, and we're not using – him at all, period.
I mean, you can even look at, you just said the guy off the Bills and then the guy off whatever. Like I said, you can go back to the Giants. Had that 5th round pick, the guy Darius Slayton. He's catching balls and touchdowns. He's a 5th round freaking pick, dude. And don't get me wrong, he has some drops here and there, but dude, he's still doing some stuff. I'm like, what the hell? J.J. Arcega-White is this big touted guy. Everyone's talking about him, blah blah. They had to put him out there, and they finally did. What was it against Seattle? He hit his first start against Seattle. The Patriots, no Seattle game, right? He's been got like his first official actual start. JJ,
yeah,
because the Patriots game was one where he caught that big ball and they took him out. Seattle, I think he played last week. He finally played a little more, and he got that touchdown, and also caught another big ball. I think it was like garbage time or whatever. It didn't matter. Went out of bounds or something like that. But still, yeah. Now this late in the season, you decide to put your second round pick in there. I don't know, dude.
At this point, I don't know. Is Alshon Jeffrey even going to stay on this roster after this year? Because he's getting a lot of guaranteed money coming his way. And to be honest with you, even in 17, we acquired all these free agents and all these guys. Like Alshon Jeffrey, we didn't win the bid with Alshon Jeffrey. We won because he wanted to come here and play with Carson. That's the only reason why he came here. He didn't come here because we won the bid. Because I'm telling you, the Colts were in it, the Vikings were in it. They offered him more security for his future, and we literally offered him. He had a 1-year, $8 million deal, whatever the hell it was, and he proved it, and he got a bigger extension. But even with him, like, I don't even know what they're going to do, but some tough decisions are going to be made at the end of this year because you cannot pay everybody. You have a draft coming up with a ton of wide receiver talent. I don't want to get another offensive lineman. I don't want to get whatever. I mean, whatever it is, but
I'm sorry, my bad. You cool.
Like I'm saying, like, Malik Jackson was the big signing pretty much this offseason, which I was happy about. I really liked it. Unfortunately, first game he gets hurt, and then Timmy Jernigan comes back on a 1-year deal worth absolutely nothing, and we just had some bad hits with injury, but at the same time, it should be no excuse for the way both sides have been playing. So, what do you say?
I mean, I agree with you, and I mean, I heard a couple people like Daniel Jeremiah and a few other people, they're saying they've been scouting, and they've been scouts for teams, including the Eagles. They said he's been for like 20-something years. He said this is the best wide receiving class he has seen, ever, in terms of him being a scout. So that's great because, yeah, we need receivers. I look at Alshon Jeffrey, and I think to myself, and I say, you know what, I would like to keep him, but I don't at the same time. Like, for example, a few weeks ago when he was playing hurt, even though they said he wasn't, when he was playing hurt and he was dropping balls and shit, and he wasn't fast enough, then he has a good game against Miami, so it makes you think different. Then again, you're like, Miami sucks anyway, so what's it make it prove? But I look at it this way, these anonymous sources, anonymous coming out about Wentz and this and that. I don't know if it's him, but it sounds like it's him coming because it comes from that girl who is close with him. You know, the freaking chick.
Right.
And we don't need someone like that. And the way I look at it is this, is if you look at Seattle with Russell Wilson and look how great he's playing, how he's always been good his whole career, but how great he's been playing like this year and last year and years prior. They got rid of basically that whole defense. If you remember, the Sherman, the this, the that, they all had something against Wilson for some reason. I guess because he got paid the most money or this and that. And so they got rid of him. They got rid of those players. And I think we should do the same thing. If you think Carson Wentz is your future and you think this guy is the quarterback that can get us somewhere and you want to surround him with talent, you got to get rid of these anonymous sources and whatever the hell it might be. And it might be him, Alshon. And he's underproducing also, kind of. And he's getting up there in age. Now, if you just release him, it's a lot of dead cap. So I don't know,
you can get a lot for if you trade Alshon Jeffrey, if you trade Zach Ertz. I mean, you can literally make some noise with either maybe free agency or I don't even want to touch free agency. Honestly, I mean at this, I know they'll maybe dab in it, but dip and dab in it, but.
Yeah, they'll scoop a few dudes, but nothing too crazy.
No, but with this draft coming up too, like they could do so much. They could do so. I know Howie wants to keep the first round pick. He wants to keep his second. I mean, you're gonna have 2 third-round picks from Nick Foles leaving. You're gonna have that. I think 2 fits. You're gonna have like 10 picks in this draft. You're gonna have a good amount of picks in this draft coming up. So a lot of tough decisions are going to be made. It's going to be a pretty busy offseason between the coaching changes and plus this roster. They need to figure it out because keeping guys from emotion or whatever it is, like the Nelson Aguilar, like you're talking about the drama, the bullshit. I'm like we just won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Like, why are we dealing with we shouldn't be looking for a receiver right now. We shouldn't be dealing with this offense the way it's playing. Like, I don't want to be one of those teams where we win one because everyone thinks we got lucky and we don't win one for another 15 to 20 years. Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I know Carson Wentz, as much as I hate the Carson Wentz haters, but I said in my video after the Dolphins lost, I was like, Carson Wentz sucks his coat. I was pissed off over everything. I was just pissed off and I couldn't even help it. But at this point, something's got to be done, and a lot of changes have to be made. And this it's not a rebuild, and everyone's thinking like we need some big rebuild. You're lucky you have a defensive line right now. You're lucky you have an offensive line and a quarterback right now, and a pretty good running back in Miles Sanders. That Miles Sanders could do pretty much everything. He could pretty much be a receiver. He can go out for – I love when Miles Sanders is in the passing game. I think that's where his bread and butter is in the passing game as well. But the guy has a little bit of shady-esque towards him too with the little jukes, and I love his moves. But, a 1-2 punch with him and Howard in the backfield, and, they're going to have to let the fuck go. Let go of some of these guys, and – they need to, bring in look, even this past year's draft, look like Josh Jacobs is doing pretty good for the Raiders, pretty good running back. Look at Hollywood Brown. My God, that guy is just insane. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, and I thought to myself when this draft came this past year, I said, oh, we're getting a pass rusher. I mean, we're definitely getting a pass rusher. But then Howie Roseman tried trading up to the 12th overall pick with the Dolphins. He tried, didn't happen. I had a feeling they were going after a pass rusher at that point, and it didn't happen. So, and then when we saw, we got an offensive lineman. I was like, okay, I'm fine with it. I was good with it. I wasn't like, oh my God, what the fuck? I wasn't. Because everyone wants, like you said, the sexy pick. Everyone wants that high, that playmaker, that guy that, just everything. So a lot of decisions are going to have to be made. And you know what? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not watching the rest of the season. I'm not watching this team anymore. And, everyone's, the Eagles fans now, it's just they're going to jump off ship. They're going to fire Doug, trade Carson Wentz, blah, blah, blah. It's just absolutely insane. I think Carson Wentz is a fucking fantastic quarterback. The problem is that this offense is just not working out. The scheme is not working out. I think they have to be more creative with him because he's so like vanilla. He's so bold. Like he's in shotgun, he gets the ball, and he's just looking. I don't know. It's just there's like 2017. There was so much creativity. Like there'd be like plays where I'm like, holy shit, like that was amazing. But at this point, like Deshaun Jackson's another thing. Like, can they trust Deshaun Jackson going further? I mean, a week after surgery, he started jogging. He was actually jogging slowly, so that was a good sign. And his trainer came out and said that he's going to come back better than ever. So Deshaun Jackson, I don't know if they're going to risk letting him go just because the guy has speed like that can get a touchdown
that's one guy. That's one guy. I don't even care how old he is. I'm not getting rid of him.
No,
and if they get rid of him, I'll be completely upset. And the only reason why is because just watching week 1, and I said this the other day. Week 1 was the biggest tease in my entire life.
Yeah.
Do you have Wentz? I've never seen him have speed at a receiver like that.
No.
Have a guy who could track a football like that. Even though the ball was right there, but it was a little like, oh, and man, it was back-to-back 50-yard bombs. He had 8 catches for 158 yards. And I'm like, this is going to be so much fun to watch all year long. This is going to be amazing. We started the game off slow, that game too. But
yeah,
as it went on and Wentz started getting hot because he didn't play all preseason. Plus, he didn't play since week 10 of last year.
Yeah, what do you expect?
And the whole offense didn't play. And none of the starters played. So everyone was all shaky and shit. So I understood. Then once it got going, I was like, yo, this team, this is a problem here. Then he gets hurt. I'm like, okay. Now everyone's like, oh, they might let go of what's his name? Deshaun. I'm like, no, they can't. No, they can't. I have to see at least 13 games, these two together, before this shit's over with, before he retires, Deshaun Jackson. I have to see this. And what you do is you draft another speed guy just in case he gets hurt. So you're not torn, because you could see this season, and Mike Rowe sucks. I want him going where you know. But I look at it and I go, you know what? This whole offseason, after they got Deshaun Jackson, if you just watch the games, it looks like they literally made an entire offense designed around Deshaun Jackson. Mm-hmm. But Deshaun Jackson's not on the field, so they can't call those plays. Either the ones they do with Aguilar with the little pitch and this and that. Doug comes from Andy Reid. What Andy Reid's doing with Tyreek Hill and the Travis Kelce thing, they have a little like flick to him and then flick to him. Yeah. He had all that aligned, and then he goes down. He's like, oh shit. So we got these big 2 receivers that are tall, but they can't even run 4.5s. We got them out, and we got these tight ends, and it all went to shambles as soon as he left the game. Even you look at the Bears game this year, he was on the field for that drive, and we looked like. He got a PI. He literally drawed a PI first play. And the second play, he catches the ball. And then not even him just catch the ball, him on the field. They march, boom, 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 right to the end zone. They don't score. I'm like, okay. Second drive, I think he was in the playoff on the field for 2 plays that drive, but still, boom, 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 down damn field. He leaves the game. We were like, couldn't even get points. It was hard to get points. And yeah, that's one guy I'm keeping no matter what. He gets so much attention on the field, and it opens up so much for this offense. And like you said, like Jordan Howard, like he was barely playing him. Like he only had like 2. He barely beginning of the year. Jordan Howard literally had he wasn't even factored into this offense at all. But then once. Us fans were like, dude, put him in the damn game, sprinkle him in with Sanders, and look what you can have. And you look at the Bears game, those holes are wide open for him. And then on top of that, you're going to get, I think, when LeGarrette Blount left, I was really upset. I was like, damn, they didn't resign him, whatever. Then we get Jordan Howard. I'm like, that is a complete huge upgrade. And not even that, but Doug is using Jordan Howard more than just a bruiser back. He's putting him in the passing game here and there. Once in a while, he's kind of doing a little bit. He likes to have all these running backs get the passing game. Corey Clement, another guy.
injured, and then what? He was from Wisconsin, never got thrown the ball to ever in Wisconsin, never, and turned him into and had 100 receiving yards in the Super Bowl.
And and it's funny, and some of the most positive plays this year after Alshon got hurt was, and I've been saying it, is when Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders are on the field together at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Because you've seen the one play against the Bills where they don't know if Howard's getting it or Sanders is getting it. Sanders gets it, he takes it to the house. There was no play against the Vikings, even though we got blown out that game still. There was a play where they're both on the field, and even me, I'm watching my television, I jump and go, what are they doing? What are they doing? And next thing you know, a fake to Howard, boom, 44-yard touchdown pass to Miles Sanders right on the money. Miles Sanders, when all of our receivers have been hurt, as sad as it is to say, he's been our best receiver on the team. He has a rookie. As a rookie, he's the first rookie. I think he broke the first rookie since 1991 to have 5+ catches of 30+ yards or some shit like that. It was like, what the hell? Or 5 catches of 30+ yards each catch. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I like Sanders a lot, but
so letting Deshaun Jackson, that would be there's just no way. They're the guy's too fast, the guy's too talented, the guy could they'd be stupid to let Deshaun Jackson just go. They would be stupid to let him. It would be so hard to even you're not going to find that. And if you know you're going to hit in the draft, if you know if you're going to move up in the draft, top 5 pick and get somebody. I mean, I'm not saying don't draft the receiver. Still draft the friggin' receiver, regardless. Regardless, I don't give a shit. What I'm looking for trust me, I want a hard hitting linebacker. I've been wanting that linebacker, that fucking guy that's just all over the place.
Jeremiah damn Trotter.
Exactly. And you know what? Nigel Bradham's got to go. He's old. He's hurt all the time. Nathan Gary's a good product guy. I think Nathan Gary has actually turned into overall. I think this year he's turned into a molded full linebacker because he had to go from safety to linebacker. He was safety in college, and then Camus is up for a contract after this year as well. And Camus not, it's another guy as well. So it's crazy right now with the linebacker position as well.
I would try to re-sign him. And I think we can get him for, not for cheap, because there's some teams that are needy for linebacker that watch a lot of film. GMs and might go, this guy right here, he's been good. Just doesn't get that much of a chance to be the starter. And he can get some money. But, yeah, I would definitely keep him. I mean, we kind of learned our mistake. But not our mistake because it was time for Hicks to go anyway. But look what Hicks is doing with Cardinals, man. But he's too injury prone anyway. He's gonna get hurt within next year or some shit. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't wish that upon no player, but still, something's gonna happen to him.
But weird, right? But weird. He's not hurt, and he's actually playing well.
I don't get it. Most tackles by a linebacker in the league at one point this season. I think it was week 9. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that there's got to be some overhaul of this roster, but there's so much.
But when that time comes, we're gonna make another video about that, dude. Definitely, we're gonna get a video to get me and you. Gonna get another show going, and we're gonna talk about what needs to happen.
Definitely,
dude.
So,
got to.
Other than that, if you have anything else to say or anything else you want to, I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I think I spread it all out there. All I'm gonna say is, go check me out on my channel, Joey. You can put that in the link below. I'm here all year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're a good dude, Joey. I knew you for a while. We've been on Bitterbird show together. You know what I mean? But man, I don't know what else to say. Go Birds, tank, get Jerry Jeudy at the draft, wide receiver out of Alabama. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, me and iamCarlo we've known each other since I got on YouTube first day. I think since Philly Nights back a long time ago.
That account, remember that? I wake up with so many things from that group chat. I turned off the notifications. I think I'm still in it, but I don't even check it, dude. It still exists.
My phone was dying every day at work because everybody would just talk I'm like, do you guys have jobs or what? Because I can't do this all day.
And I didn't even I said a few words in it, and then they would start wanting to argue about this, that. I'm like, all right, I'll be in it too much, and I gotta get out of here, dude. I was still in the chat, but I just didn't say anything. I turned my notifications off because it was too much.
Yeah, it was nuts. But I put iamCarlo's YouTube channel is down in the description below. I already put it there, so check that out. Subscribe to his channel. Philadelphia Eagles fan. Great takes. You already got a little sample of what he brings to the table today. I'm glad that we got to do this, so I'm pretty much good. So we will see you guys later. We'll come up with a show later on. This is gonna be a real busy off season this year, and we still have season left, but very busy off season coming up. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys. Go Birds. See you guys later.